Oh, it's working. Oh, good. Hello, look, I got a whiteboard and it's completely clean and my kids, my kids are bored. Not that bored, they're pretty happy. My daughter's still lying in bed, but it's 11:53. Hello, welcome to math class. Today we're going to do pages 745. Look at this, I can write it on my whiteboard. 745 to, oh my goodness, all the way to 748. So tiny, this whiteboard. It's going to drive me insane. All right, this is the multiplying the mixed fractions, which I talked about in an earlier video, but we're going to do a little bit more. And it starts off with some shading, which we've been avoiding. We're going to keep avoiding. We're going to go turn to next page, 746, guided practice. Find 4 1/5 times 1/2. Write in simplest form. So what they do there is they're going to change that 4 1/5 into 21/5. That 4 and 1, we're doing number 1. 4 1/5. They somehow changed it to 21/5, right? How did they do that? They multiplied 4 times 5, it's 20, plus 1, 21/5. And then you can multiply it by half. 21/5 times 1/2 equals 21/10. 21/10, how many times can you put a 10 into 21? 2. 2 times 10 is 20. You got how many left over? 1. The answer for that one is going to be 2 1/10. And then we erase the board. Look at that. I've got a whiteboard. I'm so excited. And different colors too. Let's try the next one. Number 2 on page 747. Multiply, write in simplest form, as always. Green. 1 1/3. 1 1/3 times 2/3. 1 1/3. Let's change that. I don't know if I got like that. Oh, then you can't see me. Oh, jeez. Jeez, oh, pizzo. Maybe I do it like this. Let's try that. Oh, I got email. That's what that beep means. 1 1/3. 1 1/3 times 2/3. We're going to change this 1 1/3 to a improper fraction. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. So this is 4/3 times 2/3. 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9. Do I have to simplify? No. 8/9. That's your answer. Let's try number 3, shall we? 2/5 times 2 3/4. Gotta change this one, right? 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 11/4 times 2/5. 2 times 11 is 22. 5 times 4 is 20. How many times can you put a 20 into 22? Once. Got how many left over? 2/20. Oh, you can simplify that to 20ths, right? So the answer is going to be 1 1/10. 1 1/10 is answer number 3. Let's try number 4. What the heck? Let's try number 4. New color? New color. 3 3/5 times 1/4. Change this one, right? 3 times 5 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 21. So we have 21/5 times 1/4. 21 times 1 is 21. That's a bad 2. 21. 5 times 4 is 20. Simplify, because the number on top is bigger than the number on the bottom. How many times is 20 going to 21? Once. How many got left over? 1. 1 and 1/20th. Answer. 1 and 1/20th. All right. All right. I'm going to do one more with you. That was number 3. I'm going to do number 5 with you. That's number 4. Do number 5 with you, and then I'm going to let you do the rest of those. I'm going to let you do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by yourself. Number 5, 2 1/2 times 4 1/5. Okay, this one we have to we have to change them both, right? Not simplify, complify. Not a word, but we just invented it. It's okay. We're going to complify them. 2 times 2 is 4. Add 1. This turns into 5 halves. This one, 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1, 21 fifths. All right, 2 ways of doing it. 5 times 21 is 105. 2 times 5 is 10. How many 10s can you put in 105? 10. 10 times 10 is 100. How many got left over? 5, 10, and 5/10. Ooh, you can simplify that 5/10, right? 5/10 simplifies really simply to, put it over here, 10 and 1/2. 10 and 1/2, right? I'm going to show you the other way to do it. Some of you think this is confusing, and that's okay. You can ignore the second way, but for those of you who get it, you get it. Let's go back up here. I'm going to erase the answer. We know what the answer is already, right? I have a 5 on the top, and I have a 5 on the bottom. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 21 over 2. How many times does 2 go into 21? 10 times. 2 times 10 is 20. How many have left over? A half. 10 and a half. That's the other way of doing it. You can do it either way. Whatever way it works for you is the way that you do it, right? There's no, everyone's got their own style. All right. Do the rest of it. Should I do one more? I'm going to do one more with you. What the heck? One more. And we're going to change the color one more time. What color we haven't done yet? We haven't done black yet. Let's do black. Number 6. 1 1/3. Oh, that's my least favorite. 1 1/3 times 3 2/3. We're going to complify. Oh yeah, we're going to complify. 1 times 3 is 3 plus 1. That equals 4/3. 3 times 3 is 9. Add 2. 11/3. 4 times 11 is 44. 3 times 3 is 9. How many times does 9 go into 44? Should we do division? I mean, I can figure it out in my brain. 4. But let's do the division. What the heck? 44 divided by 9. That's a 4. 36. Remainder of 8. Answer is 4. Remainder divided by 4 8/9. All right. All right. So that was number 6. You guys do 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? Let's go to the bottom. Write a multiplication equation represented by each model. Shade the product of the model. Ooh, you don't even have to give the answer for these. Lucky kids. The first one, okay. They're all just multiplication. 1 1/2 times 2 1/2 is the first one. Did we already do that one? I feel like we already did that one somewhere. No. Should I ask you guys to give the answers? Why not? You got time in your hands. What is it? 1 1/2? 1 1/2 times 2 1/2. This one changes to what? 1 times 2 is 2. Add 1. 3 halves. This one, 2 1/2, changes to 2 times 2 is 4, add 1, 5 halves. Answer is 15/4. Oops. 15/4. Simplify, because the number on top is bigger than the number on the bottom. How many times is 4 to go into 15? 3. Because 3 times 4 is 12. 15 minus 12 is 3. 3 and 3/4 is your answer. All right, you guys do 12 and 13. Let's turn the page, shall we? Oh, good, it's problem solving. Alexandra made a rectangular quilt that measured 3 1/4 feet in length by 2 3/4 feet in width. To find the area, multiply the length and width. What is the area of the quilt in square feet? Write an equation to solve. So, you multiply 3 1/4. 3 1/4 times 2 3/4. Complify. 3 times 4 is 12, 13/4. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11, 11/4. Poof! On the bottom you got 16, 4 times 4 is 16. On the top, 11 times 13. Well, 10 times 13 is 130. 1 times 13 is 13. So 130 plus 13 is 143. 143/16. That's a fun number. That's what we're looking for. Let's do some division. I'm not even going to try to do that in my head. It will hurt my brain if I try to do that. 143 divided by 16. 16 doesn't go into 1. 16 doesn't go into 14. 16 goes into 143. How many times? Boy, 8 times 16 is 8 times 10, 80, 128. I think it's that. Because if it's 9, 9 times 16 is 90 plus 54 is 144. Too much. 8. 8 times 16, 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 10 is 80 plus 40, 128. 13 minus 8 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. Remainder of 15. Your answer is 8 and 15/16 square feet. Good for you, Alexandra. Number 15. Lainey bought 1 2/3 pounds of grapes. She also bought bananas that were 2 1/4 times the weight of the grapes. How much did the bananas weigh? 1 2/3 times 2 1/4. Let you guys do that one yourself. I'll go over the answers later. Don't worry, but you can do it now. Number 16, Mrs. Plesich, great name, Plesich, I don't know, has a 17 3/4 ounce bag of chocolate chips. She will use 1 1/4 ounces of the chocolate chips for baking the cake. Then she will use 1/4 of the remaining bag for decorating the cake. Well, she doesn't take any just to eat. Whenever I eat with a bag of chocolate chips, I always take some fraction for myself. How many ounces will she use for decorating? Okay, so this one, how much do we have at the beginning? She's got a 17 3/4 ounce bag. Good for her. She will use 1 1/4 ounces for baking the cake. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to subtract 1 1/4 ounce. How much does she have left over? 17 minus 1 is 16. 3/4 minus 1/4 is 2/4. All right. And then she's going to, and then of that, that's what's remaining, she will use 1/4 of that. She's going to multiply that by 1 1/4. So we have to, well, simplify it, right? You know what? I wasn't going to simplify that 2/4, but I'm going to. 2/4 I can simplify that into what? A half, right? 2 over 4, half. That way we can do some little less multiplying. 16 times 2 is 32. Add it to 1. 33 over 2 times 1/4 equals 33 eighths. How many is 33 eighths? How many 8 times what is almost 32? 4. 4 times 8 is 32. 33 minus 32 is 1. So your answer is going to be 4 and 1/8. Number 17. Write and solve a real-world problem that involves finding the product of a fraction and a mixed number. Ooh, that's going to be exciting. You'll have to make that up yourselves. 1/2 Omar had 17 9/17 pieces of chocolate. If he wants to share that with 73 people, that would be 17 9/17 times 1/73. Don't do that, Omar. It's a lot of numbers. Make it simpler. I want to see you guys make up stuff like a half times a 1.5. Super simple. No hard stuff, please. Number 18, how is multiplying mixed numbers different than multiplying fractions? Well, the easy answer is it's harder. It's more of a pain in the butt because you got to complify things. Complify. Let's write down that word. That's our vocabulary word for the day. What's our word for today? Complify. Is that a real word? No, it is not a real word. Complify is not a real word. Do not learn that word, complify. Complify. Remember that word. Don't learn that word. Whatever you do, don't learn the word complify. It's not a real word. All right, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn it back on 2 minutes later and give you the answers. All right, bye.